Before beginning, please be sure that you've downloaded and printed the Master Mentor Teacher Training Guide provided with the training videos to use as you listen to the following videos. The Apprenticeship Practicum Experience is the culminating activity for all teacher preparation programs at Augusta State University. Successful completion of this experience is required of all undergraduate and graduate teacher candidates seeking a degree and initial certification in a teacher preparation field of study. In this experience, a teacher candidate spends an entire semester working with the Master Mentor Teacher in a classroom setting. At the end of this semester's experience, teacher candidates are expected to demonstrate all of the prerequisite skills required of an entry-level teacher. Now, the Apprenticeship Practicum program is designed to fully utilize the experience of the Master Mentor Teacher. Master Mentor Teachers model, teaching, planning, and evaluation of the Apprenticeship Practicum experience. The Master Mentor Teacher is continually involved in working with the Apprentice Practicum Teacher candidate as coach, guide, and facilitator of learning while providing critical feedback and evaluation. The purpose of these training videos is to provide an understanding of the framework of the Augusta State University College of Education's teacher candidate apprenticeship practicum experience, and to provide an overview of the primary responsibilities of Master Mentor Teachers of general teacher candidate requirements, and to inform Master Mentor Teachers of the resources available to support them in this critical role. Now, let's begin with Master Mentor Teaching Training key terms. The first term, University Supervisor. What is a University Supervisor? The ASU person hired to supervise apprentice practicum teacher candidates. Building Coordinator. The building coordinator is the school personnel chosen to serve as the liaison between ASU and the placement schools. Master Mentor Teacher. The Master Mentor Teacher is a teacher either assigned by the Teacher Education Department or assigned by the employed teacher candidate's administration or chosen by the employed teacher candidate to supervise the apprenticeship practicum experience. Apprentice Teacher Candidate. The apprentice teacher candidate is an undergraduate teacher candidate seeking an initial certification. And finally, practicum teacher candidate. The practicum teacher candidate is a graduate teacher candidate seeking initial certification or an employed teacher candidate seeking initial certification through the MAT program.
Now we are going to discuss the differences between apprenticeship and practicum candidates. Refer to the chart entitled Differences Between Apprenticeship and Practicum in your Master Mentor Teacher Training Guide. The attendance requirements for the apprenticeship program are 85 days, including 10 days for the beginning of the year experience. For the practicum program, the attendance requirement is 75 days. For the apprenticeship program, you must complete a minimum of 680 hours. For the practicum program, you must complete a minimum of 600 hours. In the apprenticeship program, your teacher is referred to as a master teacher. In the practicum program, your teacher is referred to as a mentor teacher. For the apprenticeship program, your master teacher must complete a minimum of 10 lesson evaluations. In the practicum program, your mentor teacher must complete a minimum of 3 lesson evaluations. In the apprenticeship program, you are required to observe 3 placement school teachers. This is not required in the practicum program. In the practicum program, your school administrator must conduct 1 lesson evaluation. This is not required for the apprenticeship program. In the apprenticeship program, you are required to attend seminars at your placement school, as well as those sponsored by ASU. In the practicum program, you are required to attend a minimum of 4 seminars at ASU, as well as those that are sponsored by your school. For the practicum program, it is required that you have written approval of the building administrator and classroom teacher for employed candidates. This is not required for the apprenticeship program. It is a requirement that apprenticeship and non-employed practicum students be placed at a partner school in our PDS network. In summary, apprentice teacher candidates are required to document 85 days and 680 hours during apprenticeship. In summary, practicum teacher candidates are required to document 75 days and 600 hours during practicum. The teacher education website is the most helpful online resource for teacher candidates, master and mentor teachers, and ASU supervisors. The most helpful document under the Master Mentor Teacher links are the Master Teacher Guide to Supervision of Apprentices and the Mentor Teacher Guide to Supervision of Practicum Students. Master and mentor teachers receive a stipend for $150, which they will receive after completing the Master and Mentor Teacher Update Form and sending it to Julie Gray via fax, U.S. mail, or by submitting it in person.
This segment is about the primary responsibilities of a master mentor teacher. Lesson evaluations are crucial and should authentically reflect the progression of the teacher candidate's teaching abilities. Lesson evaluation forms found on the teacher education website should be documented and shared with the teacher candidate as soon as possible after observations are done. The midterm conference will be attended by the ASU supervisor, the master mentor teacher, and the teacher candidate. This conference is critical in determining whether the teacher candidate is passing or failing. Instructions for the master mentor teacher completing midterm and final evaluations can be found on the teacher education website. The confidential password will be emailed to the master mentor teachers each semester prior to the deadline for submission of midterm evaluations into live text. It is important for the master mentor teachers to verify the teacher candidates' attendance on the midterm and final evaluations. A tardy is defined as arriving late or leaving early, and this time must be made up and properly documented on the teacher candidate's timesheet. If a teacher candidate is absent 4 or more days, they will be removed from their apprenticeship or practicum experience. Master mentor teachers should inform university supervisors after the first tardy or absence. Lesson plans must be submitted to and approved by the master mentor teacher prior to teaching. It is helpful if the master mentor teachers set deadlines for turning in lesson plans and establish a daily debriefing time to communicate with teacher candidates. Lesson plans may be prepared in any form agreed upon by the master mentor teacher and the teacher candidate. The only exception is the lesson plan template available on the teacher education website, which must be used for planning the impacting student learning unit, which is required by Augusta State University. If any significant problems arise during apprenticeship or practicum, An intervention can be requested by the master mentor teacher, the building coordinator, a school administrator, or ASU supervisor at any time. At the first sign of a potential problem, please contact the ASU supervisor immediately.
This segment is about general teacher candidate requirements. Teacher candidates must teach a full load of classes for a minimum of 3 weeks or 15 consecutive full-time days. Teacher candidates should take over the planning of each subject or class as they take over the subject or class. They add a subject each week until the teacher candidate becomes fully responsible for the planning, teaching, testing, communicating with parents, and grading. Teacher candidates are not allowed to supervise recess without a certified teacher present at all times for liability reasons. The teacher candidate should collaborate with a master mentor teacher to develop a tentative schedule for taking over all duties. It is expected that the teacher candidate will participate in anything the master mentor teacher does unless he or she is asked not to participate. Examples include, but are not limited to, RTI meetings, IEP meetings, bus or car duty, lunch duty, faculty meetings, PTO events, school carnivals, field trips, or professional developments. What are the conceptual framework principles expected of an ASU teacher candidate outlined by the College of Education? Our conceptual framework principles, which are sometimes referred to as CFPs, can be identified using the mnemonic device PAR. PAR represents prepared, able, responsive. Let's take a closer look at each principle and talk about these professional dispositions. Prepared teacher candidates are critical thinkers about the process of teaching and learning. Able candidates are empathetic, inclusive, and enthusiastic in their relations with students, parents, and peers. Responsive teacher candidates develop creative and challenging lesson plans while remaining flexible in the education process. Please note the following. The evaluation of the teacher candidate at midterm should reflect scores that show the teacher candidate as just beginning to practice the skills and professional dispositions evaluated, while final evaluations reflect a candidate teaching and reflecting with consistency. Number 2, Augusta State teacher candidates will be evaluated on their professionalism as noted above by the definitions of the conceptual framework principles defined by the College of Education. As a natural part of this process, their daily model of professionalism during their apprenticeship practicum experience is their master mentor teacher. And finally, number 3, the following list is an overview of the teacher candidate requirements during the apprenticeship practicum experience. Requirements include introductory letter to parents, midterm self-evaluation, final self-evaluation, 2 video reflections, 1 ISL 10 to 15 day unit, photos of teacher candidate work, e-portfolio, evidence of parent contacts, attend mandatory ASU or school seminars, 4 seminars for practicum students, observation of other teachers during apprenticeship, administrator observation evaluation during practicum.
Please reflect on the following questions and share your expertise with other master mentor teachers. 1, how do you prepare for an ASU student? 2, how do you encourage and support teacher candidates? And 3, how do you communicate with teacher candidates who are struggling in the areas of teaching strategies, classroom management, professionalism, lesson planning, attendance, writing or speaking issues, and other concerns? Feel free to download the following resources from the Teacher Education website to help you in your role as a Master Mentor teacher. The first resource is the Master Mentor Checklist of Helpful Tips. The second resource is Best Practices Checklist. Now, more resources are available on the ASU Teacher Education website. And please be sure that you use the Master Mentor Teacher Training Guide you used to take notes throughout the video presentation and follow directions for taking the online test found on the Teacher Education website at www.aug.edu/teacher_development/. Now, a minimum of 80% is considered passing. Your score will be recorded and kept on file in the Teacher Education office. However, if you do not make 80% the first time, you may retake the test. And finally, thank you for participating in the Master Mentor Teacher Training. Now, you're one of the most important participants in our teacher candidate program, and we appreciate your expertise, your collaborative partnership, and your professionalism as we seek to provide our teacher candidates with the most effective teacher preparation possible. Thank you again.